It's Andy with Jimmy Fallon from The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon and Steve Higgins and Cherie. I mean, this is fun. Higbones, did you like the shot ski?
I loved it.
Okay, good.
I've told you stories about.
Yes, I've heard about you for the last 20 years.
I mean, you have legendary. So there's another great story that I didn't want to get it because I didn't want the whole show to be about. But where are you now? Where can we find you now?
I work at Lincoln Center actually. I work there for Restaurant Associates, and I take care of all of the F&B over there.
How did you get to Lincoln Center?
I have no idea.
That's one of the classiest places in all the world.
They give me a paycheck every week. It's incredible.
I love you.
I love
There was
it.
one bit, we did this one bit, because I wanted to say goodbye to him, and I didn't see him, and I go, well, just tell him I said goodbye, and they go, okay. And as I was leaving, I went to the coat check, and in the coat check, he was pretending that he was passed out with a bottle of Absolute vodka, and he was like... And I go, it's just, the bits keep, I mean, I have 1,000, we've done so many bits. Do you remember the one time I went in, this is, I wasn't dating Nancy, and I went by myself. I used to go to dinner by myself all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
No, all the time.
Like, I liked going by myself. I read scripts and stuff like that, so I go like, and I walk in, he goes, I will put you in the corner so that no one makes a big deal that you're here. And I go, thank you. And so he put me in the corner, I got a script, and then all of a sudden, all the lights went down in the restaurant except for my table.
That's amazing.
I mean, really, no, I swear, he really thought about the bits.
I have to tell you something. I just realized, like, first of all, it's so comforting just to have Higgins here over your, like,
it feels
you
good.
have Higgins, like, he makes the show, near you at all times. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm realizing that my bartender is my Higgins in my mind, but the bartender's different every night, so I can't get into the. I feel very nice having you here, Higgins.
Yeah, you should have a Higgins.
No, I should have a Higgins.
Yeah, get your own.
Yeah, maybe we should have a you know what, control room, we should maybe discuss. Maybe the bartender should be the same person every night.
Yeah, I'm dressed like old me.
If you had a crappier haircut.
Yeah, I used to cut it myself.
Let's go back to the phones for Jimmy. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hey, Andy, this is Shelly from Kansas City.
Hey, what's your question?
My question for Jimmy is, which SNL skit do you wish you would have been a part of because it was so awesome?
Which SNL skit I wish I was a part, because I mean, obviously for the people that passed away, Belushi, anything with John Belushi, I was one of my idols. I love him. Sandler, I love. Gilda, I'd love to work with, but.
When you were on the show?
When I was on the show, you mean? I'm trying to think of a bit that. I mean, I kind of love. I'm such a fan of Saturday Night Live. Like, you don't understand. Like, I couldn't watch it with any other people in the room because if anyone had any negative thing to say about it, I would say please leave or I gotta go home. I gotta go watch this. My friend had a party once in college and said like, you gotta come. I go, I gotta watch Saturday Night Live. Then maybe I'll be there. He goes, what? He goes, I'll set you up in a room so you can just watch it. I go, well, if you do that, then I'll come. So then he set up a room and I watched Saturday Night Live.
People came up?
No, I just watched it privately. But
did you, when you were watching it like that?
I just love the show.
But when you were watching it like that, was there a part in your mind where you were like, I'm going to be there, I need to study this? Or were you not realizing?
No, I did.
Were.
I had like an obsession with it. I said like, I really want to get on the show before I was 27.
And so you got on when you were how old?
23.
Wow. And so when you got on, talk to me about that first show, because it must have been the most. I mean, who hosted the first show you were on?
Was it Cameron Diaz, maybe, in Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that was the first one I did. And then, yeah, Cammy D. And that was my first one. I'll tell you the one thing you really remember. You remember Don Pardo saying your name is the most legendary thing in the world. Now, Don Pardo, those of you who don't know, he was in one of the best voices of television history. Jeopardy, was that?
Yeah, he did Original Jeopardy.
Right.
Original
He
Jeopardy.
started there in 1944.
But he was like, you know the way he said, Andy Cohen.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and that's the way he talked. So when he said my name, I was watching. I was like, because when you first started on SNL, at least my year, you weren't guaranteed to be in the opening credits.
Right.
No. I think you were, and maybe
But is the story better?
Yeah, you weren't guaranteed that.
Is my story better? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The story's better if I just make it up and say that.
Yes, exactly.
But I thought that
you might have been fired if you weren't on the show.
But I thought that if you weren't in the opening credits.
You might, yeah. If you didn't appear on the show, they didn't have to put you in the opening.
Yeah. So when you're in the opening credits, that was a big deal for me because my parents would watch. And they would be like, oh my gosh, you know, Don Pardo just said your name. But the first time he says it, I was just listening like, oh my gosh, he's gonna say my name. And he goes, Jimmy Fallon. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
It's honestly the best thing.
Wendy V texted, what is a telltale sign that Lorne Michaels is going to cut your sketch from the show?
If your card, if you go in the meeting in between shows, and if your sketch card is on the other side, it's done.
It's bad.
I mean, yeah. I mean, also, he probably wouldn't come out and talk to you if the sketch was going to get cut.
Callie S. emailed, will you ever grow out your mustache again?
No.
I loved your mustache.
That was a disaster.
It was? I thought it made you even funnier.
Flop!
Really?
Yes, it was a big disaster. I had a mustache. James Corden was going to shave my mustache off, actually.
I
was in London. I had my mustache. I was in London, and he was there, and I go, hey, dude, do you want to meet up right now and shave my mustache off? And he was like, sure. He was going to do it, but then it was really late, and I was like, I'm too old.
Let's go back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hey, Andy. My name's Kristen. I'm calling from Florida.
Hey, Kristen, what's your question?
Jimmy, I would love to know if you could pick 2 historical figures, dead or alive, to Shotsky with. Who would you pick and why?
Historical figures.
Trotsky, for you? Yeah.
A Shotsky with Trotsky?
Yeah, Shotsky with
Trotsky. Historical figures. I guess I love. I mean, it's Charles Dickens. I love him.
Great.
I just love his books. He's like classics.
Okay.
And
Classics Illustrated.
And James Cagney would be fun.
Perfect. 2 more calls. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, Andy. It's Betsy from Phoenix.
Hey, Betsy, what's your question?
I just wanted
I
to
thought of
say
a different. Sorry, Betsy. I thought of a different answer.
Okay.
For my Shotsky, it'd be the original Lionel from The Jeffersons, and then the replacement.
And the replacement? The 2 Lionels from the Jeffersons?
Yeah, that's what I would love to do. Shotsky.
That is the best answer I've ever heard in my life.
Remember they replaced Lionel?
Yes, they did. And
Not Dick York and Dick
oh my
Sargent.
God.
No.
The 2 Lionels.
That's too much.
Two Lionels.
That's not
Oh
deep
my
enough
God.
cut.
I mean, by the way, it's obvious that you thought of that.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious.
Planned.
Sorry, what was your question?
That's okay. My question was obviously for Jimmy. I just wanted to know, what is Drew Barrymore's most annoying habit?
Most annoying habit.
Oh, she's not annoying at all. I love her so much. She's my sister-in-law. She, you know, my wife. I met my wife, hi Nancy, doing the movie Fever Pitch. She's producing partners with Drew.
Right.
So they did all the Charlie's Angels, Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
My wife is amazing.
Amazing.
She is really amazing, and so Drew is like family. So
Yeah.
annoying?
No.
I really no. I'd have to really.
She's a river of words, that Drew Barrymore.
Oh, she likes it really?
Yeah.
I just love. I don't know. I haven't. Nothing.
I mean, I don't.
Whenever I
don't
see her,
mean-
it's fantastic.
Yes.
So-
Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Gary from Indiana?
Wait a second. Gary, are you from Gary, Indiana?
Oh, no, I'm from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, yeah, but your name is Gary?
Yeah, my name's Gary, Indiana. I'm calling from Gary, Indiana.
Well, that is. Do you find that odd that you're from Gary, Indiana, and your name is Gary, Indiana?
Wow, I never thought of that.
Well, you never once thought of that? What is your question? Oh, he hung up. It's an old-timey dial tone.
What's your
Old-timey
name and
dial
from
tone.
where are you
He's calling from an old from an old phone.
Indiana.
Dude, who has a dial tone
hard
anymore?
line.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's not a
dial phone.
No, there are still dial tones on the line.
Are there?
Well, not on cell phones, but on hard lines.
Hard lines.
Yeah.
Can you leave it off the hook
I
and
have
have
a
it
hard
go?
line. Yes. I have a hard line.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I have a landline as well, but
Yes.
I did it wrong. I have a cordless landline.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's not the same.
Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling? Hey, caller.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, this is Pam. I'm calling from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Pam, what's your question?
Pittsburgh, Permane Brothers.
Woo! Exactly. Can you, Jimmy, can you name someone that you have interviewed and your opinion of them has changed after you interviewed them?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who not changed, but I like more, because I
Yeah.
pretty much like everyone.
That will happen to me where I have someone on and I'm like, yeah, Tom Bergeron's on tonight. And then after the show, I'm like, I love Tom Bergeron.
By the way, I love Tom.
Yeah, no, he's great.
But he's like ABC, so I don't
Yeah.
get to see that many
Right.
ABC people because it's an NBC.
Not funny.
No, it's not that he's not funny.
No, I said, isn't that funny?
Oh,
Like,
isn't it
you
funny? I
don't
was
get
going to say he's
yeah.
not funny. No, I think he is funny.
No.
It's just an ABC thing.
Yes.
I would love to have him.
Yes.
I don't. We don't have any rules at our network.
I
we can have
understand.
everyone on the show. So
Yeah.
I love like Survivor and Jeff Probst, and
Yeah.
I'm sure someone at NBC is like, stop having CBS people on. But
Right.
I'm like, I got to. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love what I like. You know.
Yeah.
I like what I love. Gary.
That's a party call. It's a party line. I'm on with the other caller.
Party line that hasn't existed since the
Well, hold on.
probably the 50s.
I gotta get my pet rock out of the refrigerator.
Gary, hold on one second. The question was,
Is there
changed.
someone that you
I'll
changed?
tell you who I always loved. Miley Cyrus, I always loved.
Yeah.
And I had her on for a
week you
week.
did was amazing.
And let me tell you something. This girl is so talented. Oh my goodness. Out of everyone we were, I mean, seriously,
She's amazing.
she worked the whole week. Out of anyone that's been on the show.
Wow.
Old, young, guy, girl. She sang every song. She is the nicest person, very charitable. And then I had the best week. I was sad at the end of the week to see her go because I really missed her. And then she sent a message to me, said, and she donated a lot of money to my charity.
That's so nice.
I
She's
just-
amazing.
Extra
She's great.
I love Miley Cyrus.
She's on SNL this week with Larry.
Yes, she is.
Oh, wait,
she's
what?
A musical
Yeah, she's a musical guest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
Have a
sneak
sip
up
of your
there.
drink. I'm a little thirsty.
Sure,
Last call of the night.
This is a gin.
there one
a
more
gin
call?
and tonic.
Gin
I mean, do you
tonic?
wanna-
Yeah,
you wanna
just-
sip
Okay.
of it?
Caller, what's your name and from where you calling?
Higgins.
Whoa,
Higgins, wait, that's my-
headphones.
There you go. I just need a sip.
Hey,
Hey, this is Mary Jo from Birmingham, Alabama.
hey, what's your question?
Hey, I just wanted to say really quickly that my best friend and I, we watch you all the time. We absolutely adore you, Andy. We met you at the Palms last year in Atlanta.
Thank you.
And you were just so kind and so sweet to us, and it just made us love you even more.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
a question for Jimmy?
I have a question for Jimmy because I love Jimmy too. And Jimmy, my question for you is, what's the biggest foot in mouth moment or the worst question that you've ever asked a guest on your show?
Oh, that's a good question.
Not the worst question I've ever asked. I mean, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of there's so
Mine
many
was,
things.
do you know why Britney and Justin broke up? And not, why did Britney and Justin break up?
I was good with that.
That was
Right?
good, yeah.
myself.
What
There's
was
a
mine
little
thing?
courtroom.
Yes.
I don't know what. I mean, there's so many bits that and things that I'm like, oh, that was lame. Oh, I couldn't remember who. Now Sam Worthington was on. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And he was doing. He had that new.
Prison Break?
No, it was a Greek
that's a different
mythology,
person.
old from the 80s.
Oh.
He redid it. It was in 3D.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
And so I couldn't remember the name Zeus.
Nice.
And so I'm like, now your dad is in the movie is and it was just as quiet as this is. And he looked at me, he goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And flop sweat just started coming out. My face got red. I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember who plays your dad. Like, what's your dad in the movie?" And he goes like, "Zeus." I'm like, "Yes, sorry, Zeus." I couldn't remember the
did
name
it
of
feel
Zeus.
like 20 minutes?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
awful. Honestly, I
Quiet.
felt like I've been in a fight.
Yeah.
I was exhausted
Yeah.
afterwards. I'm like,
Right.
"I'm so sorry, man." He was like, "Oh." He's like, "Are you drunk?" I was like, "No."
That's a big ass studio, too.
Yeah.
For it to be quiet. When
It
it's
was-
quiet in that studio, you know it's quiet.
Remember we did, was it Sandy, I think, Hurricane?
Oh, right. Did you do it with no audience?
No
Did a
audience.
show with no audience because we were all there.
What's that like?
It was really quiet because
Yeah.
there's no audience. But I remember when we went outside just to say, hey, the hurricane's happening, but we're here and we're going to put on a show for you guys so that you can hopefully, get through
Right.
the night and get some laughs. And I remember I did the monologue, we did the whole thing, the Roots were there, and we came out and I walked out and you could hear my shoes like clicking on
Oh, my God.
And then I walked out to do the monologue, and I did my first joke, and the Roots didn't even laugh. And I go, "Hey, you're here. It's not like you don't." I mean, remember that? I go, "Dude, let's do it again." So we did another take where they laughed.
Then every joke you delivered, like, oh, wow. Because you thought it bombed. Because there's no...
Everything was bombing, and you were laughing
Look like
hysterical.
Paul Manafort in this suit.
Before we go, did you ever meet Johnny Carson?
No, I never met.
Never met him.
I never met Johnny. I would love to.
Yeah.
Lauren's met him and Steve Martin's met him. I know people that know him, but
Yeah.
like, I wish I met him. I loved him. A lot of people say like,
You're in the
"Oh,
same studio.
I mean, the Tonight Show is not. I mean, it's not. The Jimmy Fallon show. It's
Right,
the
it's
Tonight
the Tonight Show,
So
yeah.
it's been around for over 60 years, and so I'm lucky to be handed this unbelievable legacy. I think about him. A lot of people say to me like, "Is this your dream job?" And I was like, "It's not, because I didn't even know this was a job. When I had my television growing up, I just thought he came with the television. They're like, that's what that is. And I go, I don't know what that is. I don't consider that a job. I thought that was a show. And I just grew up and did whatever and never even thought I'd be where I am today. I'm very, very lucky. And it's all Higgins and the Roots and and Lorne Michaels.
The book is Everything Is Mama, Jimmy Fallon. Watch him on The Tonight Show. Get the ice cream at Ben & Jerry's. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Higgins. For more, click around MamaTV.com. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.